views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. I'm Dr. Pat. Thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. You know, it's one of those days, Valentine's Day, where you kind of wake up and you know that Valentine's Day, and as a matter of fact, one of our co-host, Darcy, also has a birthday today. And it's kind of fun. You get to think about this. And now you got these little Bitmojis on the phone. You can send them. And I think I sent one to you, Mr. Benny, yeah?
Yeah, and I got it. Thank you very much. And happy Valentine's Day back to you.
Yeah. And you know, my little Bitmoji at one point in time, when I was doing the white hair thing, right, which I'm actually going to go back to, you got the Bitmoji with the natural color of my hair. And people say to me, why, if you do not have like super gray hair and you've got that natural brown brunette hair, why do you want to go short and blonde? And my answer is, think Billy Idol.
Oh.
Think Billy Idol.
I don't think that at all.
I know, but I don't know what else to say to people. Maybe, do you have a better, can you help me out with that?
No,
do you have a better answer that I could use?
No, because I have no hair. I have a shaved head, so that doesn't work for me. I grow from the facial area, so it's all good. I was thinking more of like the cheetah print. Remember you did the cheetah for a while?
I did do the cheetah for a while.
That was wild.
I know. That was good, though. That was like the cheetah. But I am really feeling the Billy. I don't know. Maybe it's Valentine's. We could do like White Wedding today a little bit, maybe a little bit of that. The point is this, like when my Bitmoji changes, my hairstyle changes. So when I change from the white hair Bitmoji to the normal regular hair brunette Bitmoji, people were like, who's this? They're like, who has sent me the text? So now I have to say, this is brunette Pat. Oh, God. But like Benny says, sometimes you just have some fun, but it is the day that we recognize that love is in the air. And for those of you that listen to the show in the network, it's love worldwide that's in the air. This is a network 15 years ago that was built on a little known thing called positive talk. And, people wanted us to call it alternative. Nope, KKNW's got the market on that. We are about positive talk. Positive, holistic talk. One of my favorite topics, though, and Benny will tell you, it is about abundance. It's talking about it. It's being about it. It's explaining it. It's leading into it. It's saturating one's consciousness with it and pointing to that regardless of whether or not you are at the Olympics and you are in the curling competition and all of a sudden that little stone gets away from you and you are thinking, loser. That is not what we're doing today. Regardless of any and all of that, this is why Derek Rydall is joining us here today, because we need a time-tested system for activating the abundance principle. Need it, want it, desire it, and yes, what? Do it. Today, we're going to talk about the Abundance Project, which is his fabulous book. And listen, you know how transformation used to take 10 years? We're going to talk about 40 days. I love talking about this 40 days. somebody said to me, this is also Ash Wednesday. So there's a whole lot of stuff and energy in the air. But the thing that I want to really talk about today is the expansive nature of the universe. And Derek is somebody that has been talking to people. It's been part of his life. He's been out there. He knows what he's doing. And today you're going to hear why, like me, when life deals you a deck of cards that you never thought it would deal you, and you're still alive and well to talk about it, what do you do? Derek, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's really my honor and pleasure to be here. What a great day.
It is a great day. Let's start out with this question. Got a little echo. That's because we're so much abundance here. We're just going crazy with it. Listen, I've had some challenges, especially after I started doing this show 15 years ago. It was like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. And then I got really, really sick. I mean, wheelchair sick. I mean, like almost dying sick. Mm-hmm. That's a challenge. It didn't stop me. What challenges, what obstacles? And I know you've got something to say about this. What is it that happened to you along the way to being you and creating the Abundance Project?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I've had my fair share of challenges. The first and biggest challenge that really got me on this path happened, many years ago, where I was struggling in self-improvement and, like a lot of people, trying to improve my life, get over my past, heal my childhood wounds, all of that. And after over a decade of self-improvement, the only thing I had improved was my ability to describe why my life was so messed up. So I got really good at describing why things weren't working and where, because when I was a child, this happened or that happened, but my life wasn't really improving. And in fact, my struggle to fix myself ultimately led me to become so frustrated and to feel so much more inadequate that I got addicted to drugs and alcohol and almost died of an overdose. And then I remember lying in the emergency room in the bed with the IV snaking out of my arm and coming to consciousness, and the doctor telling me I was lucky to be alive. And I didn't feel so lucky to be alive. And I couldn't figure out how all of my efforts to improve my life got me there. So I figured, well, I just need to work harder. I need to work smarter. I need to double my efforts yet again. And so I did that. I still didn't get it. It wasn't enough to crack open my thick head. And ultimately, I then almost drowned a few months later. And in this experience where I was trapped in a coral reef, I came to a moment where I knew I wasn't going to make it out of there. Nobody knew I was there. I was all alone. I'd gone diving on my own, and I was surrounded by giant spiked coral and fire coral, and I was just completely trapped. And I had a moment where I knew that it's hard to explain if you haven't been in this situation, because it wasn't that I was afraid I wouldn't make it. I hoped I would make it. There was a sense of absolute certainty I was not going to make it. Today was the day I was going to die. And my body was exhausted. I was done. And all that was left, I tried to bargain with the universe. Please, if you get me out of this, I promise to go to church on Sunday. And there was nothing left except to surrender unconditionally. And in that moment of unconditional surrender, something snapped inside of me. And I had this flash, and I saw this self that I've been trying to fix and improve all these years, and realized he was just a figment of my imagination. He was an amalgamation of peer pressure, societal conditioning, parental fantasies, and that nothing I would ever do would make him enough. He was a fictional character. And yet right behind him, there was this other self that I'd never seen before. And it was a self, a version of me that had never been hurt. And so he didn't have to be fixed. And he was already whole and complete. And so I could not improve upon it. And it was just a flicker, but it was a profound shift in my perspective and point of view. And in the next instant, and I still don't know exactly how this happened, I was standing outside of the coral reef, standing on top of this one piece of coral that I could stand on, looking in at this little pocket where I had been trapped and was about to drown. And the exit was just inches from me the whole time, but I couldn't see it. And I realized that this coral reef was like a metaphor for my life. I'd been swimming through this maze, following all these brightly colored things, just kind of trying to get lost from the world above. And that's what my life had been. I'd been chasing and swimming and gasping and drowning ultimately. And after that moment, something radically, I say Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall.
Yeah.
And I couldn't put them back together again. And the man that swam out of that reef was not the guy that swam in. And it was so profoundly shifting that I pulled out of society and tried to become a monk.
Mm.
And that didn't work out so well. About a week into my first experience fasting, silent in a monastery, I freaked out so badly that I broke into the monk's kitchen in the middle of the night to steal food out of the refrigerator. So I decided maybe the monastic life wasn't for me. But that experience ultimately led me to go on a deep inner journey, which is when I discovered the principle that I went to talk about called the law of emergence. And when I began to apply that principle, which essentially says that everything is already in us, just like the oak is already in the acorn. The acorn doesn't have to go out and achieve an oak or attract an oak or become worthy of an oak or even make an oak happen. When the acorn surrenders to the soil and the conditions match the pattern in that seed, oak naturally emerges. And that's true for all seeds. It's true for all of nature. And that shift just radically changed the course of my life and took me out of being broke and broken and suicidal, actually, to living my dream life. And there was certainly many other challenges along the way. The challenges don't stop. You just get more and more used to understanding that the challenges aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. They're happening to make you stronger, to develop some muscle, some capacity. And we can certainly talk more about that.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about it throughout the hour today, because I think that what we have on the table right now is an epidemic of doubt. That's what I think. On the table, an epidemic of doubt. I'm actually going to write a blog about this today because, when I read your book, and by the way, I do read your book, so I'm just warning you in advance. When I read your book, I'm reminded of how very easy it is to remove doubt and remove things if you have the right tools. And that's what you're presenting us in the Abundance Project. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the law of circulation. But more than that, there are 7 gifts, believe it or not. And are you all in? Here's the question that we are asking now, everyone that we ask to join our network. With the first question is, are you all in about yourself, your message, and creating a better world? Because we are all in to help you. Let's take a short break. When we come back, are you ready to step in to your full all-in abundance with my friend, my colleague, fabulous author, Derek Rydall? We're going to be right back.
Winning at the game of money. Lynn Brown is now offering Full Spectrum Finance, a progressive 12-month program that will help you to navigate through the mechanics of financial expansion. Finally, a financial planner who looks at the full spectrum of money and abundance. Engage you in the mental, physical, and energetic aspects of finance. This is Full Spectrum Finance. Are you ready to get into it? For more information, go to fullspectrumfinance.com.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Best-selling author, spiritual life, and business coach Joe Nunziata brings his higher energy and no-nonsense style to people who are ready to make powerful changes now. Wake up, step up, power up with a shot of Joe. Join Joe the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for 30 minutes of high energy, no nonsense, and powerful tools to make powerful changes. Visit joenuns.com. That's JOENUNZ.com.
Your happiness is your choice on Natural Peace Radio. Follow Sarah Van Ryswick as she addresses the power of emotions. Each month, Sarah covers different topics as she helps listeners activate their energetic spark and create powerful energy and amazing opportunities. Manifest your desires with Natural Peace Radio. For more information on Sarah and her work, visit naturalpeaceliving.com.
Who's ready to rock 2018? Want expert assistance to ground and clear your energy and raise your vibration? Hi, I'm Wendy Rose Williams, certified spiritual teacher. Call 425-502-0362 to schedule your free 15-minute consult to learn how a 1-hour soul wisdom healing session, full-day regression healing, or 90-day energetic boot camp can help you with the next big thing. Visit WendyRoseWilliams.com to plan your magic carpet ride with me.
Hi, this is Laura Richer, host of On the Verge Radio. Sometimes you hear encouraging messages like transform your life now, become empowered, create the life you crave, and it all seems overwhelming and you're not sure where to start. I'm here to tell you that self-improvement is not always fun and easy, but it is always worth it. The path to creating positive changes begins with releasing the things that have been holding you back. Then you can create a life that inspires you. I know this because I've done it. You can find out more about what I do by visiting my website, SeattleHealingHypnosis.com. I look forward to supporting you on your journey.
That is Billy Idol. That is White Wedding. That's Mr. Benny finding that little tune right there.
Just
Benny.
that little ditty, yeah. I don't think you at all remind me of him or vice versa. That's just not at all. I think he's in his little world. You're in your own little world. I think you need to own your due, and he owns his due.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say.
Good.
Oh, my God. Well, everybody, it's time to own your own due. Derek Rydall joined us here today, best-selling author of Emergence. The Abundance Project is what we're talking about today. Derek, before we kind of get going here, and we kind of uncover what it means to step into the world of the Abundance Project. How can people find out more about you? How can they get a copy of your book?
Yeah, absolutely. If they want to get a copy of the new book, The Abundance Project, they can go to www.theabundanceprojectbook.com. And if you get a copy through that site, they'll also get over $1,200 in additional bonus programs and coaching and support. Be part of the Abundance Project Mastermind, where me and my coaches and a whole community are going to support them in creating their own abundance project. So go over there to theabundanceprojectbook.com. And of course, they can always go to DerekRydall.com as well, DerekRydall.com.
Thank you. And we're going to be giving a copy of Derek's book away today. If you go on and you read the book like I did, one of the things you come to is manifest abundance now. And I love that because we are, we get stuck in this thing like I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have to be in remorse from my past. I have to do all of that. I have to spend years cleaning it up before I can truly manifest what I desire. And I want you to talk a little bit about that because you really call out, these 5 abundance blind spots. And I think they're important because if we don't know we have them, then we don't know what to do about them, do we, Derek?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's the abundance blind spots, or I've also called them the hypnotic wealth spells, are basically just that. We're under hypnotic spells. We've been hypnotized. And if you've ever watched somebody who's hypnotized, they're on stage and they're, chasing around a white poodle, and you're watching them and they're just look like a crazy person chasing nothing, or they're afraid of a potted plant, but from their perspective, it's actually full of snakes. So you can experience something that's there when it's not, or you can experience something isn't there when it is, if you've been hypnotized. And we've all been hypnotized to a certain degree to see obstacles that aren't really there and to not see the abundance and the opportunity that is right here. So knowing that you're hypnotized is absolutely the first step in snapping out of it. And in the Abundance Project, I break down some of the core hypnotic wealth spells or abundance blind spots so that people can begin to wake themselves up from these really what are fundamentally, belief systems that are part of the collective that we just take for granted. Like money isn't real, isn't spiritual. Being wealthy isn't spiritual, or that you have to adapt to circumstances, or that wealth is money, that money is wealth, that dollar bills are wealth. So there's a variety of these that are false, and that the true nature of wealth and abundance isn't the dollars, the stocks, the bonds, the houses, the things. It's this invisible intelligence and substance and energy within us that we have in an inexhaustible supply, regardless of what we've been through or regardless of what we're facing. That we have been designed to create and to manifest out of seeming nothing. And we've been conditioned to believe that our situation or our conditions determine what we can do, what we can be, but it's absolutely false. Our conditions, past or present, are just a byproduct of previous thinking. It's an effect. It's like, if you drive a boat, the wake of the boat is the evidence the boat's been there, but the wake isn't driving the boat. The individual that's steering it presently and the energy they're giving it presently, that's what determines where it goes. But we've been literally hypnotized into believing that our past is driving our present and our present conditions are determining our future. And that is 100% false. And so in the book, I walk people through how to break out of that limited paradigm, how to wake up from that hypnotic spell and begin to generate and create the way the universe does. The Big Bang, right? The whole universe came out of nothing. All stuff we see came out of non-stuff. And we've been designed to generate and create and manifest exactly the same way. And I walk people through coming back to their true nature and their true capacity.
As I look through this, I really reflect. I'm doing a lot of reflecting lately. And yeah. I think I'm reflecting because I think it's because of what we're about to do. And so as I think about this, first of all, let me say, I work with the best team on the planet. Just an amazing group of people this is. And, we cross in age 3 generations. And so when I think about that, it really debunks the idea that people of multi-generational legacies can't work together. So that's number one. But the thing I think about is how I get to show up for a show like this because of them. And they're all part of creating what we're about to do this year. And there are moments where all of us are so clear about it, but yet we don't take action. And, we're churning that around. But that's really my comment and question to you about doubt. Where does doubt fit in the 5 abundance blind spots?
Well, first of all, doubt is just an energy. It's an energy that shows us where we're bumping up against our threshold of our current self-concept. And So people hit doubt at different levels or at different places because of what they believe about themselves and about life. But it's just an energy. It doesn't have power of its own to determine what we do, how we feel, and what we ultimately can become. It's just an energy. Just like fear is an energy, but they're giving us clues. They're showing us, okay, this is the limit of my current belief. Not the limit of my possibility. It's just showing me this is the limit of my current self-construct of what I think I can be, do, have, and achieve. And so you don't have to be afraid of it. And you don't have to even, by the way, try to get rid of it. You don't have to get rid of it. You can just say, hey, doubt, come on in and, get in the back seat because we're going, right? It's like I'm going to this destination. I'm going to live my life fully. I'm going to go for it fully. Hello, doubt. Hello, fear. Once you get in the back, you can either, leave or get in the back, but I'm going no matter what. And when we begin to do that, we don't feed those qualities, those patterns. They begin to diminish and ultimately starve from a lack of being fed. If we try to wrestle with them and fight them and get rid of them, we're actually giving them more energy. We're actually affirming they have power. We're affirming that they're real. And when I say real, I mean the real. Something that's real is forever. Something that's real can never be changed. Doubt and fear are not real because they're temporary. And so if you fight them, you make them real and you make them more powerful because they only have the power we give them. So it's like that thing about, the black wolf and the white wolf within every individual, and which one survives is the one that you feed. So that's the same with these qualities. We don't want to deny that we have them. They are a fact in our experience, but we want to just begin to hold them, observe them, witness them, acknowledge, hello, doubt, how are you today? Would you like me to make you a cup of tea? And then, but just keep going in the direction that we're going. And then we start to discover, oh, this doesn't have any power to stop me. I can do whatever I need to do, no matter what I'm actually feeling. And that's another really, really key thing to living a fully abundant and productive and free life, is realizing that your emotions aren't determining what you do. And when you believe they are, that's actually a cognitive, it's categorized as a cognitive disorder called emotional reasoning. And that's where we reason our way through our life based on how we feel. Oh, I don't feel like it today. I want to write my book, but I don't feel inspired. I want to go to the gym, but I don't feel energy enough to do it. I want to be loving to this person, but I just don't feel like it. And as if that's a reasonable excuse for not activating that quality. And that's, again, what I mean by one of the biggest things that the emergence work and now the abundance principle and the abundance project shows us is that we are like a divine power plant. And a power plant doesn't receive the energy. It doesn't even just have the energy. It generates it. And so within us is infinite, inexhaustible potential of love, peace, joy, beauty, abundance, wisdom, genius, inspiration, celebration. It's right here, ready and willing to fully be activated and expressed through us anytime, anywhere, no matter the condition. And if we begin to believe that and practice that, we'll start to discover, oh my God, I'm in a situation that is chaos, but I can actually generate joy and peace anyway. I'm in a situation where it appears I lack all that I need, but I can generate a feeling of confidence and abundance and power. And lo and behold, my experience begins to transform when I show up as the creator rather than the victim. So that's the big aha. We're the biggest hypnotic wealth spell is that we're asleep to the lie that we're just separate beings being, at the whim of forces of nature and other people, that we're victims, that life is happening to us, where the real truth is all of life is happening through us and as us. And whatever's missing is what we're not giving, what we're not allowing, what we're not expressing. And so it's all about what I call the great reversal, which is realizing again that everything is in us. And this is what all the great masters taught.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. I mean, if we'd only gotten that right, you know, that's what the man said. And yet we continue to teach that it's something outside of us on a cloud with a man with a white beard and a scepter. That's nowhere in the teaching. Same with Buddha. He taught nirvana is within us. Lao Tzu taught the Tao is within us. Krishna taught the Atman is within us. All the masters are teaching the same thing. Everything you could ever want and need to be all you were created to be and to be totally free is within you. Stop acting like you're just some separate little poor, victim in the universe, and realize you're a cosmic being of inexhaustible power and potential, and start showing up that way. That's what all the master teachings have been teaching us.
Yeah, I love this. And I want to talk more about it, because when you step back and you look at all of the teachers, all of these master teachers, all of the writing, all of the documentation, let's call it, and you really look at it, and now you see how these messages are emerging in the way they were originally meant to be written. And you're hearing this new form of positivity coming out from these philosophies, traditions, and religions. And the question is, for so many, what is it going to take for us to simply believe it, enjoy it, and embark on the journey that these teachings set us on? When we come back, we're going to be talking about let's get started now. Let's get started now. What is it that happens when you give thanks for everything? Everything. What is the phrase that you guys hear me say, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or anything else? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't you wish you had more joy in your life? Check out the new book by Robert Max Schoenfeld, For the Love of Joy, a 30-day adventure for creating joy in your life, because you deserve more joy, more love, more health, more abundance, and more life. Available now on Amazon. Get your copy today. Visit theartofpowerfulliving.com. That's theartofpowerfulliving.com.
Are you searching? Looking for a sign? A message you need to hear? From the great unknown, from the most mysterious place that is the most familiar to your soul in the depths of who you are. The universe put someone here to talk to, someone God gave a blessing to, that you may find insight with. TheAngelLady.net. 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790.
Defining success and putting minds to work. With the Higher Learners Career and Leadership Series, Rudy Racine will help you craft your personal definition of success, offering support and guidance as you move forward towards your goals. Take the leap. With the right mix of focus and motivation, anything can be achieved. Tune in every first and third Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 Eastern, and for more information on Rudy Racine and Higher Learners, visit Rudy's site at higherlearners.com. That's HIRE learners.com.
Be you plus live your purpose equals joy. That's the motto of Unstuck Joy with Vicki Todd. Vicki believes you were born with gifts that are meant to make the world brighter. Each show will feature an art visioning journal prompt to help you create your way to soul clarity. If you're ready to get unstuck and create more joy, this show is for you.
Tune in the first and third Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit VickiWorldArt.com.
The Janice Underwood Show, helping you create the life you want, not the life you tolerate. Tune in each Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, as Janice delves into the life creator system and the next step in your spiritual evolution. Janice Underwood is gifted at helping spiritually minded people shift their mindsets to unleash the creator within. Our souls wish to wake us up, Those of us listening hear the call. Do you? For more information, visit JaniceUnderwood.com.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Check us out at drpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
Even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get our hands clapping right away. For those of you out there, I'm talking about The Abundance Project, and it is a great book. TheAbundanceProjectBook.com. Check it out. TheAbundanceProjectBook.com. Also, you can follow Derek on Facebook.com at Derek Rydall. And it's DerekRydall. That is his name, the spelling of it. You can find him there on Twitter, all of the above. And also, if you go to transformationtalkradio.com or the Dr. Pat Show, just click on the show. It's going to take you to all those places. One of the things that I want to do, and I love doing this, we've been doing a Pay It Forward for 15 years. We have a copy of The Abundance Project, the book, to give away right now. So Mr. Benny does this super, super great, really, really loves chatting with all y'all. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. First caller, copy of the book. Derek, thanks for today. Thank you. I want to get the party started. We've talked about how to move beyond the challenges. We've talked about some of the blind spots. I want to talk about in, the remainder of the show, very specific things we can do to step in to all of what we talked about. Whether it was Jesus walking the earth and say everything you need is within us, or greater things than this you shall do, whatever it is, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Allah, whether it's, something from the Bhagavad Gita, all of it is saying we are so much more than we think we are. How do we get the party started like they would love for us to do?
Understand a few of these fundamentals, which we've been laying out, so that we have a better understanding of where we really are and what we really are, which is that, again, life doesn't happen to us. It comes through us and it comes from us, that we're not really in the world. The whole world is in us. And we've come here to unleash it, to release the imprisoned splendor, as Robert Browning said. And so, as I say again, whatever's missing is what you're not giving, what you're not bringing to the party. You want to get the party started, bring the party to wherever you want to have fun. You got to bring it, where when you show up somewhere, whatever you meet is what you brought. So that's a big shift for a lot of people, because we've been so indoctrinated into believing we're victims, right? That things are happening to us. And then we even have there's a lot of payoff to feeling that way. So we have to be willing to acknowledge that truth, that everything is in us. And we have been conditioned to believe we have to wait for someone or something outside of us to change before we can step into it. So that's the first biggest piece. The second biggest piece is to understand that wealth and abundance is not material. It's spiritual or energetic. If you look at a fruit tree, the fruit of the tree is not the wealth of the tree. That's why when all the fruit's gone, the farmer doesn't cut the tree down and say it's broke. The farmer knows it's still as wealthy as ever, and in due season it will produce harvest after harvest. It's actually the invisible ability for it to turn the raw soil into the sap and the flower and the blossom. We've been designed the exact same way. So we have to understand that wealth is spiritual. Wealth is the very substance of our consciousness, of our being. And that means that no matter what our bank account looks like, no matter what our body or business or economy looks like, we have within us right now an entire storehouse of riches. But we have to start circulating it. We have to start giving it. We have to start sharing it. And then that final piece then is, okay, it's all within me. How do I get it out? And that's where we get into what you talked about at the top of this show, which is the 7 gifts that give you everything. And these are giving out, giving away, giving up, giving in, giving thanks, giving to yourself, and forgiving. And what these are the 7 core channels through which we can start circulating this energy. Understand that circulation is the key to abundance. Wherever there's greater circulation, there's greater growth, power, and abundance in any system, right? Wherever there's a lack of circulation, there's stagnation and diminishment. So these 7 channels start to get us to circulate more and more energy. And the first gift, giving out, stands for your time, talent, and treasure. So this is about these 3 areas of our life where a lot of us are holding back and waiting for something to change. Like we want to give more of our time to someone or something, whether it's a philanthropic endeavor or a creative endeavor or a loved one. But we tell ourselves, I don't have the time. Once I have the time, then I'll give my time. Once this job changes or I get a promotion or my kids go to school or it's some whatever, then. And we don't understand that it goes the other way around. We have to actually decide and commit and step into whatever that thing is. Start making the time. And then we'll find that our time expands and we find we have more time to do the things that matter most when we make the things that matter most a priority. And then there's talent. You know, we all have these dreams of expressing ourselves more fully in some way, writing that book, creating that program, launching that business, whatever. But we're waiting. Again, we're waiting for validation, approval, more money, more something before we start stepping into and being and expressing that we feel the desire for. And again, that's why I like to call this the ultimate weight loss program, WAIT, because we're waiting. We're waiting for something to change before we can be who we are and express what we want and move in the direction that we want to go. And it's exactly the opposite. I remember, a lot of people go, it's easy for you to say, Derek, you're out there speaking around the world, you've got all these opportunities. But what they don't understand is I didn't wait for that before I started doing my work. I was walking around in my underwear giving talks to an empty room before anybody ever heard me. I was showing up to my computer, to whatever, and writing and expressing and doing the work and showing up as much as possible, regardless of whether anybody was showing up for me or validating me. And as a result of that, I began to generate the energy. I began to circulate the energy of that gift, of that talent, of that vision. And as I did that, that manifested as an opportunity and then another opportunity, or it manifested as some area I needed to develop or grow, all of which I never would have seen or experienced if I didn't start. And so I had to give of my time. I had to give of my talent, and then also of my treasure. And that means, finding ways to circulate your abundance. Don't wait to have more. I'll be more giving when, I'll be more generous when. No, you won't. You think you'll be more generous. If you can't give a dime out of $1, you're never going to give $1 million out of 10 million. You have to start, right? You have to start now. And so that's just the first gift, but it's a place where a lot of people are stuck and are waiting. It could even just be, I want to be more spiritual. I want to practice more. I want to show up more. I want to play more in this area. But my husband or wife or family thinks it's weird. So I can't do it right now because they won't like it or they won't like me. Whatever it is, all of that is the way that we are giving away our power, and we're not generating the power and the energy that's within us, that is the substance of the life we really want to live. Then I'll talk about the second gift too, because that's really, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, because I want to go ahead and skip the break. Let's just keep rolling here.
Yeah, so there's a couple other gifts that are so important, and you don't even have to believe. This is the other thing. You don't have to even believe in this stuff initially. You just have to apply the principles. You know, you don't have to believe in the law of buoyancy. You just have to know how to float, and you'll float. So the other one, giving away, is a really powerful one, and that is all the stuff in your house, your car, your closet, you know, all the stuff you're holding on to that you're not really using, that you're not really getting joy from, but you're holding on to it anyway because you think, well, one day I might need it. Or that stack of magazines that you subscribed to and never read, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I ordered those. I'm not going to get rid of them until I read them. All of the stuff in your home and in your life, the stuff is stuck energy. And it's literally a metaphor of your own mind. And so all that energy in your mind is stuck. And when you start getting rid of everything you don't really use or need, everything that doesn't bring you real joy or serve a real present purpose, clothes, objects, you name it, when you start giving it away, getting rid of it, it suddenly opens up all these energy paths for the next thing to come into your life. Because what that is it's a stuck energy. It's a stuck story. It's some kind of stuck story. And I just recently, as a matter of fact, my partner went back to see her mom, and her mom was trying to sell her house and hadn't gotten a single offer. And we were talking. She was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. And I said, yeah, start clearing all that out. She began to get rid of all this stuff. 24 hours later, they had the first offer, and it was a great offer, and it's probably going to be the one they take. 24 hours later. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. And then here's another very, very critical gift, and that's giving to yourself. For a lot of us heart-centered, spiritually inclined people, giving to ourselves, taking incredible care of ourselves, asking for what we need and want and getting it has a lot of baggage to it. We don't want to feel selfish. We don't want to seem like we're not good people. We don't want to seem like we don't care about others. And if we're taking care of ourselves, that brings up a lot of those shadows. And so, and this is a religious shadow. It's also, you know, a lot of us were wounded when we were younger by some kind of experience of the world's power and the world, you know, people with power or success we felt intimidated or wounded by, or we saw it do damage to our family. And so we decided, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to live in my heart or my spirit or my creativity or my mind. But it's cut us off from one of the most important things, which is how to really deeply fill ourselves up. And as the law of circulation says, you can't give what you don't have. And you can't keep what you don't give. And you can't sustain what you won't receive. So notice two of those three pieces of the law of circulation are about allowing something in. You have to give to yourself and you have to receive from the world. And those are the two areas where most heart-centered people are really bad at, right? It's like they want to take care of everybody else, thinking if I just do enough good in the world, then eventually I'll get my reward. And when somebody gives them a reward, they often deflect it. Oh, you look so beautiful today. Oh, really? I just threw this thing on. Oh, you know, you look great too. We can't really receive the love. Life is trying to fill us up and love us and give us everything, and we keep deflecting it because we feel bad about having too much or taking too much care of ourselves. So giving to yourself is key. And I'll just give you guys a little exercise to get started with right away. Look at an area right now where you're waiting for somebody to give you something, like you're waiting for your boss to validate, or you're waiting for your partner to appreciate or love you more. Look at some area where you're waiting for validation, approval, love, appreciation, whatever. And instead, I want you to flip it. I want you to ask the question, if I totally loved, validated, approved, appreciated myself, how would I show up today? How would I take care of me? What would I do? What would I stop doing? If I loved, validated, appreciated, respected, fill in whatever quality, myself, How would I take care of myself? How would I hold myself? How would I show up today? What would I start doing? What would I stop doing? And contemplate that every day for at least the next 7 days. And then whatever begins to bubble up, you'll start to hear little guidance.
Yeah.
Oh, I would exercise more. I would go get a massage. I would start that yoga class I've been wanting to do, but keep telling myself I don't have time because I got to take care of my kids or whatever. You'll start hearing ways. I would have that conversation with my husband finally. I would tell my boss, that I want a promotion, whatever. There's a lot there that you're not giving yourself because you're waiting for something or someone to change. And as that bubbles up, I invite you to have the courage to actually obey that guidance, to begin to practice giving to yourself whatever that is that starts to bubble up. As you do that, you will find magic and sometimes even what appears to be miraculous things unfold in your life. As you start giving these things, you'll start to turn on your divine power plant and feel yourself start to light up again. And it's a great liberating experience to discover that you can give all of this to yourself. And then you'll have way more to give to others, but it will not diminish you or deplete you as a result.
Yeah. You know what I love about this? Because when we think about, our lives and we think about receiving and desire, I mean, you said it earlier in the show, we can read from just about any, let's just say, scripture writings, teachings, masters that have walked the earth, some that haven't, and we read almost the same thing. And, it requires this unquestionable trust in that which we cannot see. And I think that you point that out in the book. But it also asks us to trust ourselves. Isn't that part of this, that we have to have an alignment of both? We've been given such enormous insight and intuition as human beings, this innate sense of things, which is, I believe, so underused. And, you've pointing out to us, wait a minute, if you've gone this far, why would one doubt themselves? Do we think it's a cosmic joke? I want to thank you, Derek, for all that you do. And I want to ask you this final question. First of all, let folks know how they can get a copy of the book. And thank you for gifting one of our listeners today. What's your personal message? What would you like to leave us with? How can people engage with you? All of the above.
Yeah. They can get the book at theabundanceprojectbook.com. They can obviously get the book anywhere, books are sold, but they could, if they want to get the book and get over $1,200 in additional bonus live coaching support, become part of the mastermind. So they get real help in creating their own abundance project. Then go get it through the site, theabundanceprojectbook.com. They can also check out my podcast by the same name, The Abundance Project, or my other podcast, Emergent. So, one of the things you just said, I got to really quickly say,
sure.
We've been given so much, but we're not using what we've been given. And there's a line that God suffers a stillbirth every time we do not act on the good that we already know. And so the key is to practice, to take what we've got, this little bit of truth, what we've been talking about today, and absolutely do something with it. Don't just listen to it. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge acted upon becomes power. It gets activated. So take some kind of action today. Ask that question that I just posed and then act on it today. And watch as you start to activate this latent power and potential. It's really true. If you guys take nothing else away, everything you've been waiting for, looking for, searching for, striving for is already in you. Everything you need to live the life of your dreams is already in you, not in your spouse, not in your partner, not in your boss, not in the economy, in you. That's how powerful you are. If you begin to contemplate that and ask, if that was true, how would I show up today? Just do that much every day and watch as guidance starts to download and as you start to get momentum and you create a success pattern in your life once again. That's the key. And come get the book. Come join the community. Let me work with you and support you in making this the most abundant year of your life. That's my greatest joy.
I love it, everybody. Derek Rydall. Wow, thank you so much, Derek. And thank you for all that you're doing. And thank you for bringing a very, very powerful message into the world, because the timing for this is now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benny. Thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. Another hour coming up here on Transformation Talk Radio, the Dr. Pat Show.
Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.